Okay, ladies and gents, welcome back to another video. We're going to move back on, straight on with the project. No need for introductions. If you've been following it, you know where we're at. If you haven't been following it, check back through the other videos. You can see how we ended up getting to this stage here. So, I'm going to continue on with the video, and we'll do a bit of the wiring of the electrics, hopefully for the backlights today. So we'll start off with that. Okay, so what I have did with this number plate is moved on a wee bit. I've took a old number plate mounting bracket off. It was actually off I think it was a Ford Cougar or something that we had spare, and I cut it up and actually split it together, joined it together. Sorry, I can nearly speak. And as you can see, it makes it sit off the bumper a bit, and it joins into the back of the bumper as well. It gives it a bit of support. And these two black pegs that you see here are actually LED lights. So I went ahead and cut the loom in here, only a power and a negative, and I've joined it onto these lights. So I will turn them on here. I'm not sure if you're actually going to see them. Yeah, you can actually. So these are designed for motorbike number plates. So I've just wired them up and they'll light up the number plate for me, which gives me my number plate light. They're actually quite bright. We'll do it at night just to see how good they are. And then the only outstanding thing, the wire on the ground there, is a fog light. Now I've bought a single fog light, which is over here. These are this type you put on the Japanese import cars, or anything that comes in needs a fog light. But I'm not sure if I'm happy with the size of it. I was actually going to hang it underneath the number plate, something like that. But I don't know. There's other stuff available, so I'm just having a look and I think about that now for the minute. So what I'm going to continue on with now, the lights are all pretty much there. The button, I'm not sure if I showed you the last day, a small push button I've put in here, and that releases the boot whenever the locks are off. So you can see it's totally hidden. Well, it's not totally hidden if you zoom in on it, but you wouldn't see the wee button, and that's just a replacement for the button that had failed in the boot. So lowering suspension was done on the last one. Don't know if I showed you it outside, actually lowered, so we'll do that. Unfortunately the weather is taking a bit of a turn, so we'll see how we get on today, and maybe get it outside. Okay, so lights are on and fog lights fitted, and I just went ahead and put it in the middle of the number plate. Now it's hard to get a perspective of it because it's up in the air, but it will do for now. I sort of thought, well, the F1 and all the sports cars have a light on there for wet weather and stuff, so why not just have it on there? That's probably where it would be in the original car if it was needed. So as I say, I'll show the lights in the dark, but that's number plate lights, the fog lights, and all the rest of the lights working. Now I just have to tuck the loom up, and that means I can actually get the bottom panel on, start getting it all sealed up. I also put a bit of sealer in between here, and I took the parking sensors out. There was still a bit of a gap, so I took the parking sensors out and refitted them, and then sealed that up, and also put some mesh in the edges here just to close up the gaps and tidy the wee bits. I may put something in these wee holes. We've set up side marker lights or something, I don't know yet. Maybe a couple of wee reflectors or a couple of grommets maybe, just, I'm not sure. I'll work something. So that is effectively that. Not too much again, only power and negative wires, a couple of plugs to sort out, and now I can start tidying everything up. So hopefully that shows on the light. Apologise for the flickering light in the background there. So yeah, we'll have a night shot of it as well, just to see when it's all lit up, just to see how effective it all is. But I'm pretty happy. I think that will work, and that is all legal, so that's what we're looking for. Okay, so that's it on the ground. Never looks to scale, it always looks different in the camera, but I think we're happy with that. So that's one less thing, again I keep saying, one last piece out of it. So okay, so today's project, cardboard's out. I'm going to start doing it. I keep threatening to do it. I'm going to start doing the inside liners now of the boot. I'm going to work on the inside panels first. So what I mean by that is these sides here, we're going to get these done. So work on the two sides. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the the back panel here yet, because putting a panel over it sort of covers up any of the wires I need access to. So I'll maybe see if I can come up with something, some sort of temporary cover for it, and then a boot floor, and then I'm going to have a panel underneath as well. So it's going to be two different sections of floor. So we'll work on the sides anyway. So cardboard template, going to get it cut out here, and then metal jigsaw, and we'll see what we'll cut these shapes out. It should be pretty straightforward. Pop rivet them onto the bars here, and start sealing that all up. So excuse the noise, I'm running it up the temperature. On another note, I realised the last day when I've mounted this number plate, so because it's sitting forward now, I've caused the parking sensors to pick it up, these centre two. So something I have to try and figure out in my head, whether I'll do away with this panel, flush the number plate over again, how far I can actually go in with it. Unfortunately there's no way of testing except just trial and error. Don't know whether I want to get involved in all that as well, because I quite like the way this looks, and at the minute with these all plugged in there's no errors. It's not just a case of unplugging them. I would probably have to move them further away or something like that. So that's for future Paul to figure out. At the minute we're going to get this done, and I'm just making sure that the temperature runs up and all the fans work, so a wee bit of noise in the background. So we'll move on another bit today with this and see what it looks like shortly. Right, okay, so chopped up, and I actually had to split the panel in two to make it fit in there. So I've put it in there, pop riveted, and you can see the black line on it. So that's just a line of sealer. I'm actually going to paint it black, just to blend in with the rest. I sort of thought about leaving it all silver, but I think the black's going to look better. So both sides are done, cut up the middle. I made a template, and then it's actually pop riveted onto the framework underneath. So it's all pretty solid. So I'll spray it black, and then we'll take a look at it at the end. Just doing these two sides here now, and then we'll start work on the bottom panels and the inside of the boot, and again then we'll figure out what we're going to do in the back panel here at the end. So we'll get that painted now just with aerosols. Okay, finished product, and you're not going to really see it on the camera, but you can see it's blacked off now on both sides, and I think it blends in better. We've sort of had a discussion about it, and I think it suits it better because everything else is dark in the back of the tailgate. So that's two sides done, and now I need to get the material cut for the bottom, and we'll start working from the bottom up then. Okay, so today's project, you're going to have to excuse the clanking in the background. The sun's that hot, the whole roof is actually expanding, making noises, so hopefully you can hear me. So more stickers. I'm going to change this one here on the far side. These are the important ones. I was waiting on the last three, and I'm going to actually cut these, and I want the Edelbrock part, or Edelbrock, sorry I should say, and to take away the cylinder heads part of it, for a part of the bumper here. So this is just wee silly things again with scale. I wanted that sticker changed, that wee small one there, which we're going to do. This 76 is sitting like this on this side, but it actually runs into the die hard on the other side. So again, I just want to twist that round, and I'm not going to try and reuse it. So silly bits like that. And then the ACs, well, I'm going to show you, but they go on the back on both sides and on the very back of the car. Also going to do the black, let's lock that door, the black down the inside of the door frames here. So I've had it out for a big drive and stuff. I've done about 25-30 miles on it. So the car is going good. Still a wee bit of a drip in the radiator and the coolant, but I've found out the issue, and I will solve that. I've replaced lots of things, so I'll look at that again in the next part of the video. So we'll go ahead today and get these stickers on here, and get these wee bits tidied up. Okay, so another wee part of the project we'll do, as you can see, blue stands out a bit. So I'm not sure if I've already filmed this on the other side, but basically going to get a red Scotch Brite pad, key the surface, give it all a rub, make it go all dull, which means the paint will stick to it, and then we're just going to use a gloss aerosol to paint this frame, and we'll get that colour coded. sorry, not colour coded, but painted a different colour, which will look like this here. Sorry. There we are. So that's what we're going for. So I'll get that ready now and give it a quick paint, and then we are running out of things to do. So let's get that sorted and get a look at it. Okay, so another day, another job. Left with the underneath of the car here. We're going to get some, like I say, the paneling across. So we've did the side bits there, which I'm going to tidy up, do a bit more black on here at the bottom. And we're going to run a sheet. I'm going to get it measured to run a sheet across, and basically close off from here to here on the bumper, tie it all together. Also going to get, I'm probably going to cut the exhaust off just to see what it's going to sound like here, and to remove it because there's going to be a straight pipe coming up and it's going to come off this back pipe and straight out and branch off two sides here. So we'll take that off and see what it sounds like as a straight through. There is still a silencer down in the centre there, so if it sounds anyway decent, I'll just use a straight through with two tailpipes. If it's too loud, then we'll put two more silencers on either side here, so it'll give us an indication of what it's going to be like. So I shall do a bit of measuring here, and then we'll get the grinder and saw out, cut that exhaust, and then we'll take a wee listen and see where we're at with it. Okay, so I ended up going a bit further than I thought there, because whenever I tried to cut the back box off, I discovered that it was actually damaged here in the centre section. So now we have a straight through right to the front pipe. So we'll have a listen at that and see what sort of volume it is, which I'm sure is going to sound awful. And then I'll have to do a bolt-on section from the middle section there. I'll get a middle section and extend it out, so it'll all be brand new pipe from there right through and out and into the Y piece. So I'll take a few measurements as well for the panels. So when I bring her down, we'll have a bit of a listen and see what it sounds like now without the exhaust, and see where we're going to end up with it. So as suspected, it's just a tad loud now, although it does sound good. It needs to be a bit more meaty, but not that much. So we'll put a centre silencer on and two tailpipes, I think, and that should be good for that. It's definitely good to hear it come alive though, and hear the engine. Okay, moving on with the metal work underneath that I've kept being threatening to do, and I've got the plate roughly cut as to where I want it to sit. It's going to clear them gaps, it's going to go in behind the bumper, and it's going to come right over to the edge here. So I'm going to do a bit of jockeying here now with the axle stand under to get it into place, and then we'll get a couple of screws into it and start lining it all up, get the wires tucked up, etc. And I'm just going to leave this exposed underneath, probably the aluminium. So we'll go ahead and I'll get this up into place, get a couple of screws into it, and then we'll get to see the thing a bit closer fitting and tidied up. Okay, so we've a bit more required here, tidying up the edges, mounting this edge, but that's where it's going to go. Obviously we're going to have exhaust coming out here, so what I'll probably do is put a cutout in this for the exhaust to come up, or else just bend it up. That's up to the exhaust guy to test and see. And it's plated off to here, and then obviously I'll put a plastic cover in here, some description, and I just need the mounting brackets. It's only loosely held up with screws at the minute to where it's going to be, so that solids up and sort of protects the whole underneath of the car now. So yeah, looks very good. And say a couple more screws and brackets in here to mount the two sides, and that should be that secure. And I'll probably just leave it exposed like that, the aluminium, rather than coating it with any sort of underseal, because it is aluminium at the end of the day. So yep, that's another box ticked. So we'll move on to the next part. Okay, so we're in finishing stages, like I said before, so more stickers. Bigger Morosso, got the proper, I'm going to say Bray Bestos, I think is the pronunciation, Bray Products. Michigan 77s, I was waiting for them for the doors. And disappointingly, this is the biggest Richmond gear I can get. I actually thought it was 3 times, 4 times the size. So I'm sort of stuck with that. That's the last outstanding sticker. Unless somebody can do that for me, I would be greatly appreciative, but I'm going to have to figure something out with that. So pop these last stickers on the right places, and then we're going to move on with getting the car cleaned up, getting the bottom of the tray all tightened up, and we'll do a bit of a walk around. Right, finally, last one, which all seems very stupid, but we're also, well, it's not the last one, still one missing. So it was here. Looks like this. Now that probably doesn't look like a different scale, but it is a bit bigger. So again, I'm starting to get carried away with silly details, so go ahead and get this on here. And then that is them all except for the one Richmond gear down there, which is a bit disappointing. So go ahead and get this on. So I don't think I've done an update since I did the suspension when I was going back through there, so I'm just going to show you what the vehicle ended up like sitting with the suspensions. Just a bit of an update as well. So at the back, obviously all the lights are done, all the stickers are done, everything's done there. I'm working on the metal sheet for the boot underneath. Again, this side everything's done, just to put a, I'm going to put a wee sponsorship decal in there for the guy that done the stickers for me, because I'm actually taking this to a show, so I want it to be seen. And there is the suspension height, so even for a 30mm sort of drop, it brought it right down. And obviously these tires are a bigger profile than the standard ones, so I think it's sitting very well. I've had it out for a drive. There was a minor scuff in the back, but there's actually a bit of the plastic splash guard that hangs down there, which I'm going to modify. So, and obviously the stickers you've seen, the stickers are all finished here, and I'm not sure, I think I did the bonnet pins. These are actually fakes. They're not holding the bonnet closed. They are proper pins, but just bolted through one layer. It means when you lift the bonnet, it comes with it, because there's no need to complicate things with that. So it's sitting nice in the sun. The colours are absolutely fantastic. Really pleased with the green as well compared to that other green. Only outstanding thing, I was trying to polish a wee bit here. I'm not really happy. There's not enough. You can see the green sort of coming through there. So I mean, they have to buy another litre of paint just to fix that wee bit. So I'm going to have to do something with it, but I'll get creative. So yeah, just a bit of an update. Let you see it in the sun while we still have the sun here. The camera actually makes it look longer than what it is, the scale of everything, but it is long. So only outstanding sticker still the Richmond, which I did get. It's this Richmond gear here, but that's the size of the one they sent me. It was the biggest, so I'm going to get that figured out here in the next couple of days, and that's it really. So we'll continue on at the back with the body work underneath, sorry, the body, the floor and the metal work, and getting it all secured, and then it's custom exhaust time. Okay, back in the video, and I'm in the painted whites because I am having to work on the floor because this is packed and forgot somebody to buy home with the keys for that car. So we're going to be finishing off with the jack and finishing off in the boot floor here. So just going to put the weights on to try and save my clothes, because I thought I was going to be working on the ramp tonight. So we'll get underneath. I'm going to get the inside finished here, a couple more screws, brought more power tools with me tonight. We're going to get these edges tightened up and these edges tightened up, then possibly another wee bit of trim on the inside here. With plenty of metal and bits and pieces here to use. So let's get to it, see what we can come up with tonight. Okay, today's project is the seats. Got the seats got. Excuse the dust and mess. We're going to go from these, which are pretty good condition anyway, but they're not reclining, to these, which are half leather bucket seats out of a Astra J or an Astra GTC. So this also means if these fit, then VXR seats would fit if anybody was wanting to do a conversion into their own car. These seats should fit out of an SXI, an SRI, a GTC or a VXR, but we'll confirm that soon. And then the plugs, etc., should be the same underneath because they're all General Motors. So this particular seat's mechanical movement, so we've only got an airbag and the seatbelt retention on it with wiring. So like I say, hopefully these are the same when we go under here. So 2 bolts in the front, 2 bolts in the rear, and then I'll allow the airbag light to go on and then double check everything first with the first one, because as I say, these have airbags in the seats, as does my car, sorry, even I should say. So they should be identical. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so a little bit of an update. This is more of a behind the scenes thing which I've been doing. So I have fitted chairs out of a 2-door, which I have to look at in a bit more detail and we'll go through. There's some differences. Regards bolting straight in, yes. Wiring, no, there's a few issues. But we'll look at that. I've also went ahead and got new wheel nuts, replaced all the wheel nuts because the other ones were real tatty and bad. Finished off some of the black in the door that was outstanding. And then I have put a plate, now I have the car down, but I've put the start of the boot floor in. And I've actually screwed it to the side, so that's all mounted up. And now I'm working on the inside of the boot lid. So checker plate in here, checker plate in section here, which I have cut out over there. And then a checker plate section here, and then this will all be black, and then that'll sort of change the look. There's a rubber to go in here to seal this off, so that'll change the look. And then I'm now working on the exhaust system, which we're actually going to feed through the bottom of the inside of the boot, and then it's going to pop out down at the bottom sections here. So I'm working on that. I've had to order up some parts for the exhaust that broke the last day, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm in the middle of painting this wee section here, so we'll put the painted section on, you can see what it looks like, and then I'll cut up the other pieces and get this all black, and then we'll sort of go through everything where we're at, because now it's getting to the stage when it's all wee jobs and just tidying up things. The likes of this along this boot lid here, going to have some rubber on the inside. So this is why I need to get the checker plating on, so I can get everything else fitted up, sort of final fit. Also on that top edge of that boot, there's going to be a rubber along that. So yeah, lots of progress. Probably doesn't look like much, but there is an awful lot of things being ticked off. So I'll carry on with it, and then we'll look, like I say, a wee bit more in depth at the seats next. Okay, we're going to go underneath now. We're going to do a wee bit of the exhaust work. So that's what I've left with at the minute, a broken pipe. So I'm going to get that cut off. I've got a new centre section which will bring me up over to here. And it's sitting here, excuse the mess, in process of moving and stuff. So there is things everywhere. So brand new exhaust centre section. So I'll get that cut off here at the bolts and we'll take a look. It should come over to here, which means I'm only going to have a Y piece off with two ends on it then, hopefully. So we'll take a listen to the sound of it. Actually, when I listened to the video the last time, it didn't do it justice, didn't make it sound as loud as it was protecting a bit. So we shall see how we go here. Okay, I'm not sure if you can hear it, but that's just with the centre section in. What I'll actually do is I'll leave the camera. Can't even do that. I'm going to say I'll leave the camera set up. Right, okay, I'm going to leave the camera set up and give it a bit of a rev. So here. So hopefully you got that. That's just the centre section, as I say, coming up onto the back of the axle. So there'll be two separate pipes coming out here underneath, and they're not going to be visible. They're just going to be facing down to the ground, and then we're going to have the dummy ones here at the side, because it's too much hassle to try and link pipes to these. As much as I would love to do that, it's not practical with what's underneath the car. So hopefully that sounded okay. I'll know whenever I listen back to the video, but it'll give you an idea. It's not crazy loud, but there's a sporty note to it, which is what I was after. So it'll make it more tolerable whenever we're driving it about, and also whenever people hear it in the street. So happy days. That's another thing ticked off. Okay, ladies and gents, we're going to end it there. Thank you for watching. Thanks for staying to the end. If you like what you seen, give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to share, show it to other people, pass it out on social media. It helps me get the videos pushed out to who wants to see them. So join me in the next part, and we're getting close to the end of this build, and then moving towards taking it to the car show. So getting close now to the finish. Thanks for staying with me. Cheers now, bye.